Number 5. Do not save the drowning person. If someone is drowning, don't jump in after them. A drowning person is not gently flailing like in movies. In real life, a drowning person is in full animal panic mode. Their brain has shut off every function except one: get air. A panicking person in water gets a surge of genuinely superhuman strength. We're talking about someone who couldn't open a pickle jar yesterday suddenly having the grip strength of a silverback gorilla. They will grab you. They will push you under, not because they want to hurt you, but because their brain has decided you are now a floating platform. You are a raft now. One tragedy becomes two. Lifeguards train specifically to approach drowning victims from behind for this exact reason. Instead, you throw something: a rope, a life ring, a pool noodle, a cooler, literally anything that floats. You yell instructions. You call for help. You stay on land where you are useful and alive, because a dead hero on the bottom of the lake helps nobody. Number 4. Steer towards the highway crash. You're cruising down the highway, then the car ahead of you suddenly spins out. It's sliding sideways, tires screaming, heading straight for the guardrail. Your brain does what every human brain does in that moment. It screams, "Get away from the spinning death machine." So you yank the wheel toward the empty space next to you, the gap that looks like salvation, and that's exactly how you drive straight into the crash. That spinning car is not staying where it is. It's moving fast. Think of it like a ceiling fan you're trying to avoid touching. If you reach toward where the blade is, you're fine, because by the time your hand gets there, the blade has already moved. But if you reach toward where the blade is going, you lose a finger. The spinning car works the same way. It's sliding toward that empty space you're now steering into. You and the crashing car are basically making a reservation at the same spot at the same time. The correct move, the one that feels completely insane, is to steer toward where the car was, because by the time your car gets there, the crashing car is already gone. The space is empty. You drive right through like nothing happened. Racing drivers train for this specifically. They call it steering toward the accident. It works because physics doesn't care about your instincts. Your gut says dodge the car. Physics says drive toward where the car used to be. One of those two has never been wrong in the history of the universe. Number 3. Hit the massive animal head on. You're driving down a dark highway at night. Your headlights catch two glowing eyes. It's a deer, a big one. Your brain screams, "Swerve." Don't. Every instinct is wrong here. When you swerve, you yank the wheel at highway speed. Your car becomes a spinning metal box of chaos. You either flip it or you slam into a tree, and trees don't move. When you hit the deer straight on, the deer goes over the hood. Your airbags deploy. Your car is wrecked, but you're alive. A deer weighs around 150 pounds. Your car weighs 3,000 pounds. You win that fight. But a full-size moose is a different story. A moose weighs up to 1,500 pounds, and their legs are so long that when you hit one, the body doesn't go over the hood. It comes through the windshield, directly into the front seat. With moose, the advice gets even more desperate. Brake as hard as you can first. If impact is unavoidable, still don't swerve, because flipping your car is even worse. In Sweden, they actually call it the moose test, when they test new cars to see if they can handle a sudden swerve without flipping. The deer and moose problem kills about 440 people per year in the US. Most of those deaths aren't from hitting the animal, they're from swerving to avoid it. Number 2. Drink hard liquor to cure antifreeze. Imagine you accidentally swallow antifreeze. It contains something called ethylene glycol. When your liver breaks this down, it creates tiny, sharp crystals that form inside your kidneys, causing complete organ shutdown. The actual medical treatment for this is alcohol, not a sip. We are talking a full-on IV drip of pure ethanol, or if supplies are limited, a doctor will literally hand you a glass of vodka and tell you to drink it. This has actually happened. In 2009, a man in Australia drank antifreeze. The rural hospital he was rushed to didn't have the proper antidote, so the doctor put him on a steady drip of vodka for 3 days. The man survived. Your liver can only focus on one thing at a time. When you flood it with alcohol, it gets completely distracted. It is like throwing a pizza party in the middle of a fire drill. While your liver is busy processing all that alcohol, the antifreeze just sits there harmlessly. Your kidneys then flush it out before it ever gets broken down into those deadly crystals. The technical term for this is competitive inhibition. Doctors prefer a drug called fomepizole now, but it costs around $1,000 per dose. A bottle of vodka costs about $12. So in places where the expensive antidote is not available, vodka is still very much on the table. Number 1. Feed a starving person almost nothing. Imagine you find someone who hasn't eaten in weeks. They are skin and bones. Your first instinct is to feed them everything. A giant burger, a whole pizza. That instinct will kill them. When someone goes without food for a long time, their body shuts down systems to survive. Suddenly blasting it with a massive meal is like a power surge through a blacked-out city. The whole grid collapses. It is called refeeding syndrome, and it is fatal. When the body is starving, it runs out of phosphate. The moment food floods back in, every cell in the body starts grabbing grabbing phosphate all at once. The level of phosphate in the blood crashes to almost zero. Without phosphate, your heart cannot beat and your lungs cannot breathe. When Allied soldiers liberated concentration camps in 1945, they did exactly what you would expect. They handed out all the food they had. Survivors who had made it through years of horror died within days of being rescued, not from the starvation, from the food. The soldiers were devastated. The correct treatment sounds almost cruel. Doctors feed starving patients tiny amounts of food, a few crackers, a small cup of broth. They have to do this for days, slowly coaxing the body back online.